Okay students, so let us come to question numbers 11 and 12. Question numbers 11 and 12 are paragraph based questions which are from the topic of organic chemistry, and I would rate it as one of the better questions of IIT JEE because it does require some amount of thinking and conceptual understanding. So let us analyze the question first. It says that P and Q are isomers of dicarboxylic acid. Now the moment I hear the word dicarboxylic acid, I am clear that there are going to be two COOH groups in the compounds P and Q. Okay, and further I have been given the molecular formula as C4H4O4, right? And then it says both decolorize Br2 water. So decolorization of Br2 water is a very standard test for presence of a C double bond C. So if I now try to figure out the structural formula for P and Q, see, the molecular formula which was given to me was C4H4O, right? If I calculate the degree of unsaturation for this formula, it will come out to be 3, right? And it says that there are two COH groups and there are 4 carbons. Okay, so COH groups are always chain terminating groups. If they are chain terminating groups, it means that they are going to be at the end of the chain. So I am drawing one COH group over here and there are 4 carbons. Okay, so COH group, carbon, carbon, and one more COH group. So this is going to be the rough structural formula, and 2 pi bonds have already been drawn, so that means we can only have one more pi bond, and that will be at the center because this will give the test of bromine water. And as P and Q are isomers, I know that there will be 2 geometrical isomers for this compound which will be cis and trans. So I am drawing both the structures, C double bond C. First I am drawing the cis form wherein both the COH groups are on the same side. So this is my cis form and the hydrogens as well on the same side. Okay, and then I will draw the trans form, C double bond C, wherein the 2 COH groups will be on opposite sides, HOOC, a hydrogen here and a hydrogen here. Now in the question it says that P forms the cyclic anhydride. Okay, so out of the 2 forms which I have drawn, the cis and the trans forms, this will be my cis and this will be trans. Only one of the structures can form a cyclic anhydride and that will be P. So the cis form will be able to form a cyclic anhydride because both the OH groups are on the same side, and upon heating they can lose a water molecule and form a cyclic anhydride. So this will be my P and the trans form will be my Q. Just in case you know the common name for these acids, this is your maleic acid and this is your fumaric acid, but the common names are not required in the question. Let us read the question further. It says upon treatment with dilute alkaline KMnO4, P as well as Q will form some of the compounds which have been given as S, T and U. Now what you need to understand over here is that dilute alkaline KMnO4 is used for dihydroxylation. Dihydroxylation means addition of 2 OH groups, right? And the kind of addition it does is syn addition. Syn addition means both the groups are added from the same side of the double bond, right? So let us look at the question again. So this was our P, which I have explained to you why this is the cis form, and if we carry out dihydroxylation using cold dilute alkaline KMnO4, what we'll get is a meso structure. Why will we get a meso structure? Because we all know that cis compounds on syn addition give meso. This is the rule which you must try to remember, cis, syn, meso. So S will be my structure for P, and in case of Q, which is the trans isomer, I will get a racemic mixture of optically inactive pairs, that is T and U. So this will be my answer for question number 11. Compounds from P and Q are, from P it was optically inactive S, because if you look back at the question, your S was a meso structure. So it was optically inactive S and it was For the second case, for the case of Q, it was an optically inactive pair of T and U, that is a racemic mixture. So B will be my correct option to the question. Thank you.